on the Texas A&M Sports Network. From Learfield, live from Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue on Harvey Road in College Station. Welcome to the Aggie Basketball Hour with Buzz Williams. Presented by Coors Light. Choose chill and gig 'em Aggies. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly. Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Visit rudys.com to find real Texas barbecue near you. And by Twisted Tea, hard iced tea for the 12th man. Please drink responsibly. Now, here is the voice of Texas A&M basketball, Andrew Monaco.
Howdy, and we welcome you to another edition of the Aggie Basketball Hour with Buzz Williams. We are at Rudy's, 504 Harvey Road here in College Station, and for the next hour, we're going to talk basketball with the head coach of the Fighting Texas Aggies, Buzz Williams. The Aggies are now ranked number 12 in the most recent AP poll. That's after their 70-66 win over Purdue in anything but a neutral site game in Indianapolis at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. That was on Sunday. Now the Aggies will turn their attentions to HCU. That's a 1 o'clock tip at Reed Arena on Friday. We're so glad you're with us all along the network. Learfield's Behind the Mic on the Texas A&M Basketball Facebook page, or joining us on the 12th Man mobile app or Learfield's Varsity Network app. We'll talk with head coach Buzz Williams, but first, trainer Eddie Benion tips off our show. It's the Aggie Basketball Hour with Buzz Williams, and it's right here at Rudy's. This is Aggie Basketball from Learfield. When you want a quick, delicious, and nutritious hot meal in minutes, look no further than Heat Ups. Convenient, high-protein meals on the go with local pickup in Aggieland. Head on over to heatups.com to place your order. Heat Ups, meals made simple. It's the Aggie Basketball Hour with Buzz Williams. Glad to be with you here at Rudy's, 504 Harvey Road here in College Station. The 12th-ranked Fighting Texas Aggies in the newest AP poll that came out today after the 70-66 win over Purdue on anything but a neutral site on Saturday in Indianapolis, but just a blast of a game. We're tipping things off with Eddie Benion, trainer for Texas A&M basketball. Good to have you along. Thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Thanks for having me here. I appreciate
this is something you have. I must say this. You are one that loves to stay out of the spotlight. A game is always best when we don't bring up your name, right? For that, anything. Mm-hmm. So to have you on the stage is really something special. That's for sure.
I appreciate everything. I mean, it's nice to see a different side of our industry. So this is a treat for me.
You know, we talk a lot of times about staff, and I don't think we include enough about that staff for Buzz Williams. When he talks about the number of years, Eddie, for his coaches, there's an awful lot of people who have been loyal to Buzz as well, and his trust for someone like you. How long have you been with Buzz, and how did that association begin?
So this is year 7, I believe. I'm with coaching staff, and it truly, I'll say it this way. Every job I've ever had has been associated with someone else. When I applied myself, I never got the job. When other individuals have spoken on my behalf, I have gotten the job. So in this scenario, he was in need of services, and someone or one or two people mentioned my name, and I don't even think I was one of the first 2 on the list. But after meeting with him and having the ability to communicate and converse with him about different things. When I met him, we didn't even talk about sports medicine. We just talked about different things within each other's lives and how we saw things. And that initial conversation was a special one for me because then it started the next several conversations that we had.
Did you have an idea at the time of the type of player that he was going to have? Because obviously you deal with Buzz and what you have to do, but you are directly with the players, and if those are bad guys, that makes your job miserable. Did you, in that conversation, did you get an idea of the type of player he was going to surround himself with?
Oh, yes. He actually, it's kind of cute because he had pictures with him on our conversation. Like, he brought them with. Like, we met at an airport in one of those little hubs that they have those special rooms for because I was working at the time, and so I was pretty loyal to my players and my coaching staff, so I couldn't just leave at any moment. So he addressed that by simply saying, I'll come visit with you. And he flew from Roanoke Airport to Richmond's Airport, and then we just talked at that place. I think it was like a 90-minute conversation. And so he brought materials with him to show me what it's been like in the programs that he's coached. And I already knew who he was. You see him on TV, so it's kind of easy to see, okay, this is a character right here.
Right.
But to see that other side was one of the things I didn't know about. And so it was very special to be able to have him speak about the people who he surrounded himself with, as well as the different players and their journeys with him.
That was a difference maker for you.
Yes.
Yeah. You can see it. It's just he has good people, and he trusts who he hires.
Yes.
That's important, right? Because you don't want someone telling you how to do your job.
No.
Right?
Well, and so I look at it like this. Since adults are talking, there's the ability to bring up ideas and converse about those. Whereas there's the older aspect of things in our field as well. And so I didn't perceive that at all. And I haven't had that in my time with him. We have had legitimate conversations. Some conversations are harder than others. Sure. Or we talk about timelines and how it's going to impact the program as a whole, not just the individual. But those conversations aren't hard. I look at it like this. We're two grown men, and I think we're pretty much around the same age. Right. So we've had some of the same experiences. And so me talking to him on his level is important, as opposed to someone who might be younger and hasn't had that level of experience.
Can't lie. It doesn't do anybody any good, right? You can't lie. You can't or tell a coach what he wants to hear.
Exactly.
Because when the push comes to shove, that player's not going to be available.
Now, he will hold you to the timeline that you said. So you have to do all the different things at the best of your ability to work it to get to the timeline at which you said.
So all your experience, and you brought up sports medicine, what are the changes that you've seen in sports medicine since you have gotten into it? Okay. Do we have enough time for that?
Because there are very, very many changes. The most impactful change from an educational standpoint, we went from internship route to having to actually have it in a major. And so we had the different options. When I came through, it was internship. I was literally able to just watch athletic trainers perform and then sit for an examination after I had my own degree. Whereas now you have to go through all the different trials and tribulations related to that coursework before you can then sit for the examination. So that's the first. Other ones are there are more women in the field now than it was when I started. You also see other minorities in the field as well. So those are some of the changes that, because I was a student at the University of Missouri, and I had started later. I started in my junior year of college, and I learned all the things I needed to learn to be able to sit for the certification exam. And so seeing all those different things, like I said, there's many more that I could talk about, but just seeing subtle things that are important for other people's lives, some of the most important things I've seen.
Because there's always a student with Texas A&M basketball. And I know with a lot of the other sports, I can't imagine. That's got to be so valuable to have that type of experience. It's like anything that you do, right? You have to get reps.
Yes.
But for someone to be able to learn from you and be there and hands-on, and I don't mean that, but to do that, I would think would be so valuable. I think there's the other part, Eddie, of maybe he or she says, maybe this isn't what I want to do.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's important too, right? Because then all your energies aren't going, oh, I thought I wanted to do this. I don't. Yes. Oh, maybe I'll take this turn and go in this direction, something like that.
And you try to expose them to the experiences, and you try to have conversations with them so they understand things just a little bit better. And once again, people will learn things at different times. So even in their maturity, they may not be ready to hear the criticism that you have. Or they might be completely ready, take it all in, and make an informed decision at that point. Sometimes it may take 2 years, because the program that we have here at Texas A&M is a 2-year program. Yeah. You might not figure out exactly what you are doing in that program until the very last year, or you might figure it out in the first year.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is you expose people to the different experiences that they can have, and then you talk them through these things, because once again, the skill set that you'll learn here is great, but then you also have to put that skill set into practice. And when I say into practice, meaning we are in different avenues, different areas. And so then even at the major Division I level, you might handle it this way, but you may have to handle it differently at a smaller school. And you need to be able to conceive that and then be able to work through it and persevere, because it won't be as easy as you might want it to be.
Right.
But nothing in life really is.
No, we choose hard, though. When we get in our business, we choose hard, right? That's for sure. You have pro background, though, correct?
Yes. I've done several internships. So I did an internship with the New York Giants and the Kansas City Chiefs in football. I've worked with a couple of minor league baseball teams just on the side. The Cleveland Cavaliers. A few years ago, before the summer league was there, they did their free agent camps a little bit differently. And so they always needed assistance. And I being at Cleveland State at the time, they would need somebody to help, move some things around. So I took it upon myself to go over there and steal some of their ideas as they had me moving things around.
So you did upon yourself. You had no idea if they needed anybody.
Yeah,
so
what they did was they contacted
awesome.
me and said, "Do you have any students?"
Yeah.
I said, "No, but I'm available."
Oh,
so then I went and helped them out.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So if there's a Buzz Williams coaching tree, right, of assistants that have gone, is there an Eddie Benion tree?
Technically,
folks?
There's a tree of individuals who have come under me, and I've assisted them in getting jobs, even to the point where one let me know today that she got a job that she was looking for.
Wonderful.
And so she's an Aggie, so I was glad to help her get the job that she wanted, or at least that next venture of jobs, because you never know if you're going to stay in one. I'm one of those individuals who didn't get the opportunity to stay in just one.
Yeah.
I've been to several, whereas there are others who are legendary who had the opportunity to be in that one place for a long period of time. And so in her case, she is starting out in this venture. Hopefully she can stay there because it's in the region of the world where her family is. But if not, she can move on to bigger and better things.
That's fantastic. That's got to make your day.
Yes.
Right? Absolutely. Thank you for doing this, my friend.
I appreciate
Really
it.
appreciate it. He is Eddie Benion, trainer for Texas A&M Sports, all that sports medicine. And did Corey like it? Did you like it? She liked it. You got the thumbs up. This is every week. You know that. This is what it's like. Absolute pleasure. Thank you. Hey, a reminder, the 12th Man Foundation is the official fundraising organization and ticket provider for Texas A&M Athletics. Support a 75-year legacy. Help shape the future of Aggie Athletics by donating today. 12manfoundation.com. We'll continue with the Aggie Basketball Hour from Rudy's. This is Aggie Basketball from Learfield. When you need a new roof or just have a pesky leak, you want to call on the winning team at Schulte Roofing, home of the bulletproof roof guarantee. Get the best. Visit SchulteRoofing.com. It's the Aggie Basketball Hour. Buzz Williams. We're at Rudy's, 504 Harvey Road, College Station. Lacey, we're going to put that on hold. Buzz is here. We're going to talk with Buzz. Howdy, my friend.
How did Eddie do?
Eddie did great.
His first public
How about that?
exposure.
I joked he doesn't like the spotlight. Right? He
no,
loves to be
all.
in the background and just do it.
I'm sure he did great.
He was awesome.
I don't know what channel this is on. I thought about listening on the way over.
Yeah.
Is it on the radio?
It is on the
I thought it was like on Facebook or something.
We do that also. Yeah, we try to get as much exposure as we possibly can. No, he was outstanding. This is really cool what you're doing this year. I love being able to talk with everybody.
It's a great reps for all of them. It's good for those that do listen to be able to maybe hear a different perspective, a different lens. Yeah, and I think those that have done it thus far, they're very thankful just for the chance to do it. So we should have done it
before. Yeah.
Every year, I
yeah.
guess.
But I like it, Buzz, because when you bring up somebody's name, I think now the fans understand a little bit more.
That's right.
They have heard from
That's
him
right.
or from her. So, again, and I'm with you on exposure. This isn't as scary as it seems, right?
Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah.
It really is.
I think it makes them appreciate that sometimes I always have to speak, so it's good for you come do some of it.
That's exactly right. Buzz, terrific win, and that might be an understatement in Indianapolis, and I've been joking. It was anything but a neutral site game. Man, I love what you said. No disrespect to any team that we played before Purdue, but that really was the test, and the Aggies passed that test, didn't they?
Well, I think Bob and Jeannie were the only people there not related to our families of the players or the coaches. They drove all the way from here to there.
Mm-hmm.
Ian
covered it.
Dad.
Walt was there.
Paid for his trip. So we had 3 people there. Not Mr. Taylor. We don't count him.
There was a lot of black and gold there.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. How much fun, though? You know what I mean? Like, isn't that why you come to Texas A&M? Isn't that where you play NCAA basketball?
The environment was, I thought it was tremendous.
Yeah.
The environment, the NBA facility.
Right.
I don't know how many people they announced were there, but it was a lot.
If the capacity is 18,000, Buzz, there were few empty seats.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And a good doubleheader, too.
It seats 18,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it was pretty close to capacity.
It really was. And it was fun to show off, if you will, the Aggie identity to those fans. And you know what? It's a national TV audience as well. CBS.
Yeah, I think when you play on the first game on Saturday morning on CBS, that's probably as big a deal as you can get from an exposure standpoint. With the real crew was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, they don't – I don't think when CBS calls a game that they hire the local TV camera guys. I think they all fly in.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was an unbelievable environment.
I mean, to have Bill Raftery and Jay Wright there as well.
Yeah.
And I think they enjoyed talking with you.
Oh, they've both called and texted several times since, and I just have enormous respect for anybody that's a coach, no matter the sport. But Coach Raff is 81, and he was the head coach at Seton Hall for 11 years. The first 9 years he was the coach was prior to the Big East forming. Mm-hmm. And then the Big East began. Dan Gavitt, who runs NCAA basketball, was at the game because the NCAA is in Indianapolis. And I called Dan Gavitt Coach Gavitt because he used to be a coach too.
Yeah.
And so Coach Gavitt's dad, who was a coach.
Dave Gavitt,
mm-hmm. He started the Big East when Coach Rafferty was coaching at Seton Hall. And then Coach Rafferty has been working for CBS since 1984. So he's been doing TV for 41 years. And then obviously what Coach, you know Jay, because you guys went to the same high school.
Yeah,
but,
we did.
yeah, we've competed against each other, obviously, when I was at Marquette, and we've just stayed in touch when he was coaching, and then what led to his departure from coaching, and then what he's been able to do since he stopped coaching is, I really enjoyed visiting with him. Always do.
We'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back to the Aggie Basketball Hour with Buzz Williams. We're at Rudy's, 504 Harvey Road here in College Station. Stay with us. This is Aggie Basketball from Learfield. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance wants to give you a VIP Aggie basketball fan experience this year. Go to 12thman.com/maroon contest. That's where you register. One winner and a guest will receive game tickets, a Buzz Williams autographed basketball, and will be recognized on the video board during the game. Register today. 12thman.com/maroon contest. Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, proud partner of Texas A&M Athletics. Lacey, I'm going to go back to what I did before because I just love this next 5 minutes. This is Buzz Williams talking about Henry Coleman III. And when Buzz talks about his players, he does it on so many different levels, and just love it. So for the next 5 minutes, here is Buzz talking about Henry.
So if Henry's ever president of the United States, we would all vote for him, and we shouldn't be shocked by it. He has a lot of attributes that I want to have as a person, but he has all of the attributes you would ever deem good as a student athlete. The one thing that I think is beginning to be a burgeoning power within him is I do not think he has the wrong sort of future dreams. I think if he wants to play somewhere, not at Texas A&M, he can. But I don't think that he has this fairy tale land that he's going to be a first-round draft pick and play 27 years in the NBA. And one thing I'm learning from him, because we're so close, is he's very accepting of who he is. And I'm not even always accepting of who I am. And sometimes being so self-aware in 2025, I think it's like powerful because he doesn't try to do things that he can't do. Pick a player, 11 at Creighton, 32 at Oregon. Pick some players on our team, and you go, hey, you think Henry's a better prospect than him? No, I don't. But Henry doesn't think that either. Because he's really intelligent and because he's so self-aware, he's created this new category of competitiveness on, I'm going to beat you because I think you're something you're not. And I'm going to beat you being exactly who I am and being Mr. Consistent on both ends of the floor. And I don't know if it's going to happen, but I do think there were some shades of it happening in Vegas, mostly in the film room, but sometimes on the court, where his acceptance of himself is actually helping those other 4 guys accept themselves better. Henry knows who he is off the floor. Henry knows who he is on the floor, and he doesn't change. Do you think Henry would have 17 and 9 against number 11 from Creighton? No, nor did you. But after he does it, you're like, oh, he's doing something different. No, at all. And like all of the things that I don't talk about in here that I study, if you look at all of those things, all the layers of defense and offense, like he has like 1.5 bad grade, 1 possession on either side of the ball. It's like, hey, you were starting him. Hey, you weren't starting him. Well, I wasn't starting him because analytically he was doing better than he's ever done. And I'm wondering, like, is this small sample size, is he doing better than he ever has because he's only doing it this much? And I start trying to play him more and it gets worse. And then I played him, 2.5, 3 minutes more. And then we started playing small in those other gaps. And I'm like, I wonder if we can get him 3 more minutes and analytically he still be the same. I thought he shot 1 bad ball against Creighton, and I'm hollering and screaming at him Thanksgiving morning, like, hey, man, you can't. Well, coach, no, man. I'm fighting all these other dudes on, you can't do it. It's kind of like when I coach Wesley Matthews. I'm telling those guys, hey, Wes, you get 0 bad shots. Now, coach, you gave him 1. I know, and I gave your 1 to him. And he's like, well, that's not fair. Yep, it's not. You get 0, and I'm holding you accountable to 0, and we gave your 1 to Jarrell. Why'd you give it to Jarrell? Because I can't hold Jarrell to be perfect. But if he thinks he got your 1, then he's from Chicago, and he thinks that, like it's a hustle. It's the same thing with Henry. He took that 1 fade away from the charge circle at Creighton. And I'm like, you're not going to make it. You're not going to rebound it. But Andy ain't going to rebound it. And Zoo ain't going to rebound it. And Solo ain't going to rebound it because they don't think you're going to shoot it because you've become so consistent in who you are. It's almost a paradox, right? What's he doing different? Nothing. What are y'all doing different? Nothing. Why has he been so good? Because he's accepted, I'm going to do this and stay in my lane. And within my lane, I'm figuring out that my consistency has become my power. And I'm beating inconsistent talent with good talent, but ultra consistent. And I just think he's smart enough to go, I think this is the game. And I'm like, it is the game. It has become the game.
I absolutely love when Buzz talks about his players. We'll come back, talk a little bit more about that when the Aggie Basketball Hour rolls on. This is Aggie Basketball from Learfield. At Costa Vida Fresh Mexican Grill, we source high-quality ingredients and make our recipes from scratch every day. Starting with our fresh tortillas to our chips and queso, Baja Bowls, quesadillas, tacos, and more. Find us at CostaVita.com or in South College Station today. That's our friend Holly there at Costa Vida. We continue with the Aggie Basketball Hour with Buzz Williams. Got a chance to hear Buzz talk about Henry Coleman III, and we dropped in Wesley Matthews there, and he gets 0 bad shots. So Wade is the one who gets Henry's bad shot?
Four has an ever-changing line on bad shots, but it's because he has an otherworldly ability to score.
There is, which is
why he's going to be the all-time leading scorer here.
That's exactly that.
And so
he keeps creeping higher and higher.
He needs a little bit of variance in his.
But Buzz, it's not like, okay, Aggies are down 20 and Wade puts all these points on. Wade goes in a 7-0 run or an 8-0 run. Wade's got 5 of those 8. Purdue goes up by 4, and Wade hits that 3. Like, the moment is never too big for him. And I don't think it ever has been for him since he's been here at A&M.
He's got as big a guts as anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And the bigger the moment, the bigger the stage, the better the opponent, the whatever categories you want to add to that, that's typically when he is his best.
John Thornton always says you want to surround yourself with players who hate to lose more than they want to win.
Yeah.
Wade hates to lose, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's shot less balls this year than any year of his career thus far, other than his freshman year when he wasn't playing. He's doing a really good job of trying to help our team in a variety of ways. I think he's slightly over 2-1 as of now after 11 games, assist to turnover. I think he's second on our team in free throw attempts. His usage rate is about where it should be. He's doing a really good job, and we're dependent on him. When he didn't play those last couple of minutes, I thought Mo was great.
Yes.
But our team is different, as it should be. When you have a quarterback that plays every down, every game, and does it for multiple years, you're probably going to be pretty good. And that's what he's been to us. In the film room, in practice, in the weight room. Today was the first practice he has ever missed. Ever. So he's a sub-6 foot guard playing in arguably the most physical and athletic league in the country other than the NBA. We, in my opinion, play a pretty physical brand of ball on both sides, and he's never missed anything. He's never been late to a film session. He's never been late to a weight room session. He's never missed anything until today.
Yeah.
And he called me on Sunday morning at whatever time, 6:30, and he was in pain, and he was waiting on Eddie to wake up. And I said, hey, man, let's go ahead and process that you're not going to practice tomorrow. And he goes, Coach, I'll be able to practice. And I go, yeah, I'm telling you before Eddie wakes up, you're not practicing tomorrow. So let's just go ahead and start talking about that now. Like, that's amazing to me.
Yeah.
He's an average athlete at best. He's worked incredibly hard his body fat's the lowest it's ever been. But to have the impact that he's had and has never missed anything, and if there's 200 minutes that Texas A&M plays each time that we play a game, I don't know the total number of minutes he's played, but he's played that same percentage of minutes in practice too, and he's never missed.
Right.
That's amazing to me.
And it's not like he's a floater out there. He's going to get the rebounds.
Well, I think he's averaging 3.5, close to 3.5 rebounds a game. I think he had 5 steals on Saturday.
Yeah.
5 steals, which means it was 5 of their 16 turnovers. 5 of them were live ball turnovers that he took from them.
Right.
That's
right.
And you've never missed.
No.
Like you've never had tape on your ankle and set out a few reps at practice. Like that's.
Yeah.
I've never coached a player that's practiced and played every single game of their career.
The durability is unbelievable.
Yeah.
But it was also good for this team to do what they did in the last 90 seconds of that win without him, was it not?
Yeah, I would just prefer him stay in. That's why I told him, hey, man, you think you can just hobble around for a couple more minutes? We can't do anything right now to diagnose the problem.
Right.
Just
right. My thing is always
hula hoop out there for a couple of minutes. Let us close it down.
How do you keep him on that bench? Because he's one who always wants to be in there.
No, I don't. I tell Devin, obviously Devin and I go back a long time, and I always tell Devin, hey, Dev. And Devin's always saying, hey, Coach, you can take him out.
Right.
No, I know I can take him out. I don't want to take him out.
But
I just think he's so vital to what we do.
But you sneak him right around those media timeouts.
Well, we play. That's a Josh Chambers special. Mm-hmm. We've studied how to get more real-time rest in the least amount of game time. In the least amount of game time.
Right. Because I think you got 2 media timeouts.
Yeah,
for him.
we've timed it. We've done that the last 2 years unless as far as our plan.
Right.
Now on occasion we'll take him out when it wasn't planned, but yeah, that's Josh who studied that. I think that was, I guess it's been 2.5 years since we did that.
It's worked out beautifully. Yeah. Aggie Basketball Hour with Buzz Williams. We'll continue from Rudy's. Stay with us. It's Aggie Basketball from Learfield. When you want a quick, delicious, and nutritious hot meal in minutes, look no further than Heat Ups. Convenient, high-protein meals on the go. Local pickup in Aggieland. Head on over to heatups.com to place your order. Heat Ups, meals made simple. We continue with the Aggie Basketball Hour with Buzz Williams. Fighting Texas Aggies now number 12. Latest AP poll, 9-2, winners of 5 in a row. HCU on Friday, 1 o'clock is the tip, 12:30 with our Dos Equis tip-off show, which brings us to our question. It is from Steve, and he asks, how hard is it to get a team fired up for a non-conference game against playing such a crazy road game? Because you know you're getting everybody's best shot from here on out.
Oh, yeah, maybe it's supposed to be hard. I don't think that it's hard with our group. I think particularly those with experience in our program, we've lost a lot of those games. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think that there's any confusion within our program on the value of a possession, the value of a win, a home game, a neutral site game, a road game. But I don't mean any of that arrogantly. I think we've lost some of those. Mm-hmm. And so this is the least number of home games Texas A&M has played in, I would assume, decades. And so we're thankful to be able to sleep in our bed. And we've practiced less in Reed Arena than ever before. And so, as we head towards the new year, I think that's important. We practiced in Reed today, and that's good, right? And so we've been gone a lot.
Yeah.
So I think we've played 1 game at home out of our last 6. Is that right?
Wake.
Yeah, and that's a long stretch to not play, regardless of opponent. No matter where you play, but to go that long of a stretch, that's a long time to not play at home.
What I found fascinating on Saturday in that matchup, Buzz, was you always say this: teams they do them better than we can do them. But I thought A&M was us, Purdue was them. Purdue was going to do this, and they were going to do what they do for 40 minutes, and A&M was going to do what A&M does for 40 minutes. And I thought it was the confidence in what they do. I guess the two teams played to their identity, and it really came to the forefront because they're hard. They are hard to guard because they're just going to do the same thing. You may stop us this time. You're going to do it again and again and again. And I thought that Aggie identity of diving on the floor, Anderson and Mo, and Anderson almost going to the official scorers table. And I thought that a little bit of that crowd was like, if they didn't know A&M, that's their style. But I thought it was such a contrast in styles of two teams who are confident in how they play.
Well, part of what we want to do is try to make the other team play bad. Mm-hmm. We play bad offense, and so we want to try to figure out a way to help you play bad offense. And that's kind of part of our identity. And they're the 8th best offense in the country for a reason. 2 elite level college players. The point guard is number 1 in the country in assists.
Heartbeat of that team.
And the forward has a higher usage rate than the point guard.
Yeah.
And he's playing the 5. It's a very unique team. They're going to win 25, 30 games and have a chance to play for a national championship again this year. Coach is an offensive savant. And regardless of what you're trying to do, they have counter after counter after counter. They ran 74 different plays in the last 7 games, and they're really good. And they put stress on you on the decisions that you're going to make on how are you going to try to slow them down.
Mm-hmm.
And number 2 was shooting 55% from 3.
Yeah.
And their team was shooting 43%. I think they were the 7th best field goal shooting team in the country with the 8th best offense. So it's not just those 2 guys.
Right.
They cause problems in a lot of different ways. But I think part of what we've tried to do during our time here is can we make it yucky?
Mm-hmm.
We don't want you to run dummy offense. We want you to try to have a different path, have a different route in what you're trying to accomplish, and see if we can knock you off your line a little bit, so to say. And I thought our guys did a really good job of that.
I thought Jace was tremendous. I thought Four got frustrated because he wasn't – and then he wasn't the playmaker any longer. It seemed like he was – John said he was hunting. Dr. Thornton said he looked like he was hunting. So when he caught it, he was trying to score, where you talked about him being that playmaker, another playmaker on that floor, and I thought Jace was tremendous.
Yeah, he all of our bigs. Gochi played tremendous. Henry was good. And then at certain times, we were changing some of the things we were doing in ball screen coverage. We were changing some of what we were doing on the weak side, which is how Jace got on him a few times. And Jace is as tough as competitor as there is. Mm-hmm. And I think Four's usage rate was 36%, highest in the Big Ten going into the game. And I think he scored his first basket with 1:46 to go in the first half. So I do think some of the decisions that Coach Devin made in ball screen coverage restricted his playmaking ability. I think some of the things we were doing on the weak side to change where he touched the ball mattered. I think how we defended him prior to the ball screen and after the ball screen, we kept them out of sorts. We didn't give them the same diet for long stretches of time. And I think the consistency in which our guys executed those changes was probably the best we've been all year long. But that was required to win by 4, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think of those last 5 games, I think 4 of them have been decided by 4 points. So like, you pick a game. Texas Tech, 4 points. Mm-hmm. Purdue, 4 points. Creighton, 4 points. We blew Rutgers out. I think we beat them by 5. That was a big deal. But when you're playing 1 and 2 possession games, that's the execution of whatever your plan is, and then the ability to adapt your plan in real time. That's difficult to do, but that's what good teams do.
Final segment, Aggie Basketball Hour. When we return to Aggie Basketball from Learfield. Head on over to your local Rudy's or Rudy's.com to place an order for their real Texas barbecue. Enjoy 100% oak smoked meats, delicious sides, Rudy's signature sauce. And don't forget, Rudy's serves made-to-order and grab-and-go breakfast tacos every day until 10 a.m. Final segment of this edition, Aggie Basketball Hour with Buzz Williams. ACU on Friday. That is at 1 o'clock, 12:30 with our Dos Equis tip-off show. Buzz, I wanted to ask you have this starting lineup.
They went from Baptist to Christian.
I'm sorry, Houston Christian. Yes, they were Houston Baptist, now Houston Christian.
You think the Baptists are upset with them?
I wonder if they are.
They might have cut their funding.
It's very possible. It's very possible.
We need to do some research.
That's my job before Friday. I'll do that.
And do you think because it's Christian now that
I think it's along
all
the lines
Christian
of
denominations are allowed to financially support?
Yeah. I think it
might have opened up some new NIL avenues for them.
Maybe
instead of just recruiting Baptists to donate.
Let's
just all believers.
Let's not restrict. Yeah, let's open up
Presbyterian,
that
Pentecostal, Church of God, Methodist, Baptist,
Methodists,
non-denominational.
Yeah,
Catholic.
Catholic. Yep.
Now they can just accept all of those.
That's my job now this week, right?
I would be curious how that – I've never even heard of that. How do you change the name of a school? Have you ever heard of a college changing their name, not their mascot?
No, the name? There have been a couple.
Like, give me an example.
I'm going to have to think. You're going to make me think on the air.
Southwest Texas.
Southwest Texas.
Texas. Thank you, Kevin.
Texas
Kevin
State.
yeah.
He probably graduated from there. That's how he knows.
The wife did.
His wife
Bobcats.
Did. Yeah, the A-team did. Jeanette did. Yeah.
Yeah, she's better than he is.
But it's but that's
he already knows that.
You're right. That's rare. UTRGV, right?
Yeah.
Was Pan American, was it not?
Yes. When Coach Kruger coached there, it was Pan American.
Yeah.
And then it changed to something else too. When Bob Hoffman was there, they called it something else. Maybe not. Maybe they just changed the logo. But those are both states. It's because of the state. Yeah, Southwest Texas to Texas State.
I truly believe HCU was similar to TCU. You know what I mean? They knew it was something like that, and that was the change. But I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. Just curious.
Yeah.
There's probably an article written about it.
I'll find it. Before we talk on Friday, I'll find it. Hey, before we run out of time, Merry Christmas to you.
I can't wait.
Have some time, right?
Will everybody Corey just said that Sissy's flight for tomorrow was delayed. She was scheduled to come to the Christmas party with our team.
Oh.
But as of now, everybody, Mason plays Wednesday night at 5 o'clock at Marshall, and then he's done for the semester. And so, yeah, everybody's scheduled to be here.
I'm going to have to do this after, Bob. Thank you. Bob's got the reason for you.
He knows how to look it up.
Yeah. Better reflected their student body.
They didn't want to just admit Baptist. They would have admitted you because you're a Baptist, but they wanted some others.
Open it up. Merry Christmas to you, my friend.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you.
Absolutely. He is Buzz Williams and the Fighting Texas Aggies. Now number 12 in the most recent AP poll, and it is HCU on Friday at Reed Arena. We will see you all there. 1 o'clock is that tip. 12:30 with our Dos Equis tip-off show. The Aggies and HCU, they'll carry a 5-game winning streak into that one. They are 9-2. A couple of games, one before Christmas, one after Christmas. He is Kevin Menchow, and he is our engineer here at Rudy's, and Lacey Williams produces the Aggie Basketball Hour with Buzz Williams in our Learfield studios. I'm Andrew Monaco for Buzz Williams. My thanks to Eddie Benion as well. We thank you. Merry Christmas. Thanks and gig 'em. This is Aggie Basketball from Learfield.